The fastest way to repel high-quality women is to tell them you want a relationship. And if that sentence pisses you off, good. It probably means you need to hear this. Because one of the biggest mistakes I see men make in dating is believing that being upfront about wanting commitment makes them more attractive. It doesn't. It makes you feel safe, it makes you feel honest, it makes you feel mature, but it does not create desire. Now, before you misunderstand me, let me be very clear. There's nothing wrong with wanting a relationship. Most men eventually want stability, intimacy, and family. And this episode is not anti-relationship, it's anti-neediness, it's anti-anxiety, and it's anti-stealing the woman's role. Here's the part most men don't want to hear. What women say they want and what they emotionally respond to are not the same thing. A woman might say she wants a man who is emotionally available and ready for commitment. But when a man leads with that energy early on, what she feels is pressure. Even if your words are calm, your nervous system is not. And women respond to nervous systems, not intentions. And this isn't about playing games. This is not about pretending you don't want a relationship. And it's not about lying. You don't lie. You just don't lead with your anxiety. Attraction comes first, commitment comes later, and that order really matters. And I see this consistently with potential clients. Men who will tell me things like, I'm looking for something serious. I'm ready to settle down. I want something more long-term. I want a wife or a girlfriend or a partner. And they think they're being intentional. But what women feel instead is pressure, scarcity, and an unspoken demand to fill a role in that man's life. And a woman doesn't want to feel recruited. She wants to feel chosen. So let me give you a simple example. Imagine a first or second date. The guy's nice, he's thoughtful, he's clearly interested. But instead of staying present and allowing chemistry to build, he starts future casting. He starts talking about what he's looking for. He starts talking about long-term compatibility. Talking about settling down. He thinks he's being mature. What she feels is evaluated, not desired, interviewed, not chosen, and attraction quietly shuts off. This pattern shows up most often with men in their mid-30s, early 40s. The fun and the adventure phase is coming to an end, their career is stable, and time starts to feel more real. And men don't really have that same biological clock women do around pregnancy, but they do experience more of a psychological clock around legacy, family, and being left behind. And that anxiety leaks into dating. Dating stops being about connection and curiosity and starts becoming covert interviews. Could she be the one? Is she worth investing in? Can I build something here? Women feel that immediately, and it kills the polarity. And attraction requires polarity. Polarity requires tension, not certainty. Here's the core dynamic most men need to understand. Women control access to sex, men control access to commitment. That's not a moral judgment, it's a biological reality. When men chase commitment early, they flip that polarity. They effectively do the woman's job for her. And women don't respect men who remove their own leverage. High-quality women do not want men who want relationships. They want men who have options and choose them. Those are two very different energies. This does not mean you withhold commitment forever. It means you let attraction and investment come first. And this is how healthy relationships actually form. First, there's sexual polarity, then emotional connection, then curiosity, then investment. Then she starts wondering where she stands with you. Then she brings up the relationship. And when a relationship feels like her idea, it feels safe. When it feels like your agenda, it feels risky. Most men try to skip steps because uncertainty makes them anxious. But uncertainty is where attraction lives. And you cannot negotiate desire. You cannot logic someone into romance. You have to let it develop. Real quick, a note from our sponsor here, New Brew. This is amazing if you're trying to stay off the booze. It's made with kratom leaf and kava root. So there's no alcohol in here. There's no cannabis either. And it's very strong. I can only drink one or two and I start feeling great. So check out New Brew. Link is in the description. Another mistake men make is thinking that leading with money, stability, or lifestyle fixes the problem. But remember, whatever you lead with is what a woman will value you for. So if you lead with money, you attract dependents. If you lead with adventure, you attract novelty seekers. If you lead with grounded masculine presence, you attract women who want to lock you down. And this is why the correct strategy is never to advertise what you want. It's to build a life that attracts the kind of women you would want to choose from. Then you screen. You observe how she shows up. Is she consistent? Does she invest? Does she respect your time? Does she add peace or chaos to your life? That's masculine dating. Men are meant to be selectors. When a man starts selling himself for commitment, he loses his position, and women feel that loss immediately. So here's the paradox. Men who stop chasing relationships are the men who end up in the best ones, because they're not trying to extract security. They are offering leadership. So if you're anxious about finding a relationship, that is not a dating problem. That's a leverage problem. And leverage is built through options, regulation, and trusting yourself. And this is what I do with my clients. We reverse the conditioning, we stop outcome chasing, and we build polarity. We restore calm, and relationships form naturally without forcing them. The right woman will not need to be convinced. She'll be trying to convince you. That's how you know you did it right. If this episode is hitting home, sit with that. And if you're tired of chasing outcomes that keep slipping away, start building a life that women want to be part of, not one where you're asking them to save. That's the difference between men who struggle and men women fight to lock down. Out of all the guys I know, the only ones who managed to consistently win the game are those who built and invested in a high-status social circle. You can certainly approach women and try your luck on the apps if you're a Chad, but those strategies simply don't work consistently to attract top-tier women and awesome friends into your life. But for most guys, the idea of building a social circle can feel overwhelming, so they continue to hunt for women in their usual ways and end up settling for a girl they were never really that excited about in the first place. To avoid this fate, join our community and instantly plug into a highly vetted social circle of cool dudes to network and navigate your journey with. You already know it's hard to find wingmen because the good ones don't stay in the game very long. Many of our members travel together, end up living together, build amazing circles, and even businesses together, both in the West and in many of the best locations around the globe with gorgeous women and low cost of living. I'm extremely careful who I let into this community, but if you feel like you'd make a good fit, you can apply to join. The link's in the description.